Hi, everyone. Welcome to the After Six Club's Ambitious Tribe podcast and webinar. I'm your host, Cassie Pajarillo, international independent LinkedIn trainer, startup founder, speaker, and encourager of the dreams and ambitions. In this training series, this is where I take you to a fire chat conversation together with our guests. We will answer your questions and thought after advice when it comes to driving ambition, which you can take action on right away and make things happen. So, hello, guys, again. Welcome back to another awesome episode of the Ambitious Tribe podcast and webinar. Today, we are going to be having a good friend of mine. We'll be deep diving into influencer marketing in times of crisis and how it'll change the influencer marketing landscape, moving with brands and customers. In this episode, we'll be having the CEO of an influencer agency, TalentMarketers, and Amplifyd, the manager of stars, and my manager as well, Jojo Ampeloquio. There you go. Hi, Jo.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Hi, Cass.
Hello there. Thanks for taking this call and for saying yes to be part of this training series.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's just that we're all in a quarantine, so it's fitting. It's good that we're on video and online.
Correct. That's right. So making use of our influence as well in terms of this pressing issue, influencer marketing. Now, Joe, I'm gonna go and dive in already to the topic, influencer
Go ahead. Go ahead.
marketing in times of crisis. As someone who champions influencer marketing for both brands and talent, let's
hmm
go back to the basic. What is influencer marketing?
Okay, cool. Simply put, no, just to make it really simple for everyone, and then I'm sure a lot of people know about because it's been uso and it's the in thing right now, no. When you say influencer marketing, using just looking at both words, influencer marketing, simply what marketing using the use of influencers or marketing using influence. No, so that's it. Basically, and simply put, that's it.
Okay, so what changed from the time that influencer marketing happened to now? So that's what, 5 years ago? 4 or 5 years ago has it been?
Almost about se-
Eight.
7 to 8 years ago. No?
Okay.
Um, Okay, most of the principles of marketing are the same from time immemorial. No? From the get go, it has always been the fundamentals and foundation has always been the same. So before, wala namang influencer marketing, but you have something similar to it. So like during our time, it was what you call word of mouth marketing when we did a lot of guerrilla marketing stuff. No? These are actually what we did for below the line and tacticals and all that. I used to be with marketing for the longest time. No? Before owning the agencies that I have now, I was in marketing for about 20 years.
Right.
So again, as I've said, the fundamentals are the same. It's just that now there are more platforms.
Mhm.
And also there's digital and there's online. No? Like right now, we have about 71% of the population on social media and 71% are internet users. So,
Huh.
so when you say um, influencer marketing, the difference really now is that we have more platforms and we reach our audience on a real-time basis. It's not anymore about, kasi before, para ma-reach mo yung audience mo, you had to do a below-the-line event. No? You have to like be on premise and talk to customers and talk to your audience. And that has been the case in the past. Pero ngayon, because of digital, because of all the social media platforms that we have, it's now easy to reach our customers or to reach our target audience or reach our followers. So I think pretty much that changed the landscape. No, again, the fundamentals are the same, but the landscape has changed because there are more platforms. And more in the coming years, there are more platforms that are being developed. You know? So ngayon, we have TikTok. No? Everyone seems to be crazy about TikTok nowadays. You see a lot of celebrities,
That's right.
non-celebrities, influencers who are doing a lot of TikTok. It's nice. Uh, it's a good platform to be on. You know? So yeah,
Yeah. So, but Jojo, let me ask you also about this. Like, everybody has their own influence. You are an influencer of
mhm.
your own right. But in terms of course, the macro scale, how do you define, I mean, how will you going to define an influencer? I mean, who is eligible to be an influencer? So I guess the real question here is, what are the responsibility of an influencer as a citizen also? And also, yeah, I mean, how do you differentiate a citizen to an influencer? How do you differentiate that?
Okay. Technically, there's a definition. No? Like for example, they're saying based on how many followers you have, you belong to a certain strata. So like for example, you have nano influencers, micro influencers, mid tier, macro.
What are those?
Uh,
Nano.
these are yeah, as I've said, no, you are being categorized as an influencer based on the number of followers that you have. No? But yeah, again, for me, very basic. No, when you have sort of an influence, you're an influencer in your own right. No,
Mm,
uh, yeah, sometimes we're being gauged by the numbers, but to be honest, there will come a time, and I think it's already starting. Na it's not anymore gonna be just about the numbers or the number of followers that you have. It has to be also about content, messaging, authenticity, who you really are, and because of that, you know, tumataas yung engagement mo because people and followers are getting to know who you really are. No? So again, um, influence is more of a responsibility, no,
mm,
than a privilege.
yes.
Uh, that's that's sometimes a challenge for influencers, celebrities, people who are becoming popular, more popular. That becomes sometimes a struggle and a challenge because yun nga eh, sometimes nagiging privilege yung pagiging influencer. And sometimes we forget
Mm.
that it's more of a responsibility actually, not a privilege. So yun, that's really something that a lot of celebrities out there or influencers out there will have to hurdle, and it's a daily struggle
Yeah.
to be of influence to other people.
Okay, so from what I heard though, that you were saying that of course authenticity is there, but you have to also check your privilege at the same time, be of course responsible and more mindful, diba? If you're an influencer or someone with a clout, you have to take
Right.
good care of how you communicate also to others. And it's not just because you're authentic, but also you are responsible because people look up to you, especially children, teenagers. And so this is where professionalism also comes into play.
That's
And
right. That's right.
yeah. So when you were saying about, yeah, so we were discussing about this before. It's about the mindset also. What is a mindset of an influencer should be? I mean, and at least with you as an agency, as someone who handles both brands and key stakeholders, um, what is it that you're looking for? The mindset. What is the behavior? Who are they supposed to be? I mean, I don't know. Maybe walk me through it.
Okay. What do you mean as an influencer?
As an influencer in a brand, what is the responsibility that you have for the citizens? So that mindset that they should have. I mean, should they have the mindset that they're always working? Should they have the mindset that, you know, that they have to always pretend? I don't know. I mean, what is the
Okay.
mindset of a true influencer?
Of an influencer. Okay. Um, if you ask me, no, again, I'm not an expert. I'm not an influencer myself. I My experience. the reason why I'm talking in front of you right now is because I'm a manager of
Right. Exactly.
celebrities and influencers. So I'm really just talking about, I'm really talking out of experience. It's
Yes.
not really me as an influencer myself.
Yes.
But if you ask me, there are certain ethics, no, and social responsibility to it.
Okay.
Um, yeah, again, as I've said, Kadita, number one, you have to think the mindset really has to be that I was given, I was given this influence not as a privilege, but more of because I have a responsibility. Um, Second, uh, no? First, you have to be very authentic. No? Most of the successful influencers out there, makikita natin, it's really more about because they have a following because they're authentic and also because people can relate to them.
Resonate to them.
So,
Relate to them. Yes.
so importante yun eh. And when you say people relate to you, it's also important to think that you are also relevant. No, it's not just doing what's uso. It's also about being relevant. No, I mean, being able to be of impact to whatever's happening in society right now. So number one, you have to be authentic. Second, you have to be professional. Uh, Hindi natin maaalis na in the industry, a lot of the influencers see this as a profession. It's
Mm,
a career.
of
And
course.
it's totoo, it's true, no?
Of course.
Uh, Talaga namang ano siya. It's something that influencers earn from, that it puts food on their table, and it's really a means of livelihood. It's a career. So, okay yon. I mean, hindi siya dapat pag-isipan na, ay, nako, pinagkakaperahan. Yes, it's their job. I mean, that's what influencers do. However, importante ring isipin na bukod sa it's a career, it's also something that you need to do professionally. No? Um, Yun, like for example, compliance with contract, um, doing what is expected of you from, for example, brands that hire you as an influencer,
Mm,
being true to yourself,
okay.
being true to your messaging,
Yes.
being true to the messaging of the brands who hire you. No? Kaya nga, importante rin talaga that um, yun nga, you're authentic to yourself. The brands also rin naman need to be able to identify who are the influencers who are aligned, no, to their vision, to their branding, no. So importante yun. No? So as an influencer, again, just to summarize, number one, I think is very important is authenticity. Second is professionalism. Ano? Also, I think third is the mindset that it's not all about the money.
Yes.
Being an influencer, you are called to a specific responsibility that you need to use your influence to encourage people to certain call to action. So, for
Yes.
example, a call to action to a uh, certain social responsibility. For example, magtipid ng tubig, no? Or environmental change, no? Or environmental issues. Or you talk about fitness, you talk about health, you talk about work-life balance, you talk about motherhood, you talk about how to properly raise your children. So these are topics that you can actually talk about genuinely, authentically, and again, bearing in mind that it's about you using your influence to call your followers to a certain action. So, yun.
Right. So yeah. So I noticed this as well that everybody, as I said, was, I mean, from my learnings also that everybody is an influencer, but with terms of that call to action, is it bringing, okay, maybe if you're engaged with the brand, number one, is it giving brand awareness? Are you helping actually the brand to, with a vision, with certain vision? Number two is, does it bring in the sale? Does it convert into a sale? Number three, does it
Mm-hmm.
give inquiry as well? So there are different kinds of objective in terms of engagement and also who you are. But aside from the professionalism and the authenticity, I guess what I learned from you also is that in terms of ethics is social responsibility, that in every word that you say, there is going to be one person who is really following you, raving fans who will follow you on the dot. So be careful also, even if it's outside of an engagement, you still represent a brand, even a brand, or if not a brand, maybe a certain, status quo, I don't know.
Represent your own branding,
Or
actually.
represent you yourself, diba? Because it's you. So what is your
Mm-hmm.
vision, your values, your principles? It all shows, because the brand
Agree.
also come to you because you have this vision, values, principles, so it's aligned. Now, coming with that, I mean, going into that, in that context, for brands that you've experienced working with, and of course being a talent manager again, what are the things that they look for and really engage with? I mean, what are the questions should they ask their team? Especially, we have followers here who are in the marketing department or CEOs. So again, number one, what should they look for when they wanted to engage on influencer marketing? Number two, what questions should they ask their team before they engage this certain thought leader or influencer?
Okay, let's tackle it one question at a time. No.
Okay.
So your first question is,
What should they look
what
for?
should they look for?
Yes.
What should they look for in an influencer? No?
Yes.
I think I've already mentioned it, Karina. Number one is most important. Really is alignment, and right match.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's why in the industry, a lot of the brands and even the agencies out there have always been on the lookout for sometimes AI to predict who are the best influencers for them.
Mm.
Uh, Even if AI helps, though, a lot of there's still a lot of subjectivism or being subjective, though, in terms of influencer marketing. When you say alignment and right match, it's not anymore all about the numbers.
Yes.
Kasi when we started in influencer marketing, talagang padamihan ng influencers. Kaya nga nauso yung influencers buying, some influencers trying to buy followers. So. Kasi nga, syempre, it's a numbers game. Pero kasi, when you really look at it, it's not anymore about the numbers or the number of followers that you have. It's about
Impact.
who are the influencers who can speak well about your brand in a very genuine manner. No? It's
Right.
about having influencers who will have malasakit for your brand.
Mm.
This way, kasi you increase the engagement more than just mere impressions. You will see, if you observe enough and you have you do a proper audit of all the influencers out there. I think yun din yung ano, no, I think that's the advantage of working with an influencer marketing agency, kasi at the very least they already have existing audits of who would be the best for certain categories. No? Like, for example, for mommy brands, sino ba ang best influencers for that? For tech brands, sino ba ang best influencers for that? So, imbis na isa-isahin mo pa and make an audit of who might be the best match for your brand, it might be wise to work, no, with an influencer marketing agency. Now, why am I saying that? Is because, yeah, I think an influencer marketing agency has the ability to tell you who can potentially have malasakit for your brand.
Mm.
Importante kasi malasakit eh. It's not, hindi porque maraming, pagpalagay na nating maraming followers, pero mahirap ka trabaho.
Yes.
That's still a nightmare. No?
Yes.
Importante yung bukod sa malasakit, madaling katrabaho. No, if I was still in marketing, if you would ask me if I was still in marketing now or today, I'd choose someone who has a little following, konti lang ang followers, pero authentic, genuine, potentially may malasakit sa brand ko, and madaling katrabaho over someone who has millions of followers pero masakit sa ulo katrabaho, or
Yeah.
di naman masakit sa ulo but challenging maybe,
Okay.
or potentially hindi hindi naman talaga gumagamit ng brand,
Right.
no? So
Right. That's actually a
yun
disconnect.
eh. So
Yes.
yes. So again, just to summarize, it's really alignment and right match. Um, it's not about it's not just about the numbers. It's about who can speak authentically about your brand and someone who will have malasakit. So, yon, I think if those are the things that a certain brand or brand managers or marketing people should be on the lookout for.
Yes, and I think in terms of the influencer marketing game, it's slowly changing that it is beyond OOTDs, or it's beyond handling you're drinking coffee. Sorry, okay, drinking coffee or tea, whatever, and taking a snap of that and being cute. So I agree with that.
Eh,
That has to
that's why
align to yes. Go ahead.
that's also why that's also why if you look at campaigns that are most of the campaigns now talaga mapapansin mo, di ba? Even the platforms are evolving. A lot of them are really more of storytelling na eh, di ba? So you have your IG stories, you have your uh, videos and all that. Um, you have your the likes of Kwentong Jollibee. It's really more about the power of storytelling. No? And authenticity has to shine through. Um,
Agree.
So yan, papansin natin, it's not anymore, nag-evolve na siya. Hindi na
Yes.
lang siya basta-basta OOTD ngayon. It's not anymore just about looking good on camera. It's really more also about kwento. No? And that kwento will actually equate to how Filipinos will now be able to relate to a certain brand kasi nakaka-relate sila. No? So, yun. I think,
Yes, I
yeah,
agree.
the power of
And of
storytelling is
course,
also very important.
And of course, with the storytelling, relatability, it's also the fact that you're also a user of a certain product that you are also promoting. So it's not just again, it's not just the money. So I love the way that it shows. I mean, this conversation it shows also the integrity of your company, Jo, which I also appreciate. Now, looking to that, going to deep into the integrity side of things, we are now in a crisis. So why is it important for us to talk about influencer marketing in times of crisis? Like the influencers are all here. They are actually they have this superpower that they can help the nation in terms of stability as well. So again, going back, why is it important for us to talk about this, especially now that there's crisis? How can influencers really make use of their influence?
Okay. Well, basically, because influence is such a powerful concept, no? It's a powerful concept that we can actually leverage on during this time of crisis. No? Like yun, yung crisis that we're in right now. No, influence can actually be used to make positive changes and impact. When I say that, I see naman a lot of posts. No,
Right.
syempre we're just at home for the past week, and all you can do really is to look at what's happening on social media and all that. And you can see a lot of influencers doing their own share. No? Again, mapa nano influencer, mapa micro influencer, mapa macro, mapa mega. Uh, they're doing their own share of maybe raising awareness or spreading good vibes or inspiring people. So I think that's the right use of influence. Yo. And I really hope a lot of influencers out there do the same. No?
Be
Again,
mindful, right? So be mindful of
not a
the,
privilege.
yeah,
Yes, no, it's really a privilege more than it's really a responsibility more than a privilege. So sana during times like this and times of crisis, they use their influence sana to inspire, no? And to help people to certain call to actions, like for example, maybe donate or stay at home or wag mag-hoarding, mag-grocery, or a lot of things, no? A lot of things. In fact,
right. It's not just,
um,
so it's not just about, I mean, the way I see it also, influencers, it doesn't have to be that they're being paid for it. It's just but, again, the responsibility is, this is just who you are.
yeah, exactly, no? Uh, there are other things that you can also get involved with. And it doesn't have to be politics, it
Yes.
doesn't have to be politically motivated. It
Right.
just really shows your compassion, your passion as a person, as an influencer. That resonates with your convictions. So, like for example, you're uh, you're solid and really firm about, hey guys, why don't we donate face masks to our frontliners, etc. And you post about it, and you tell your followers to do the same. No, there's a certain call to action to it.
Yes.
Or maybe just stay home. Ang dami kasing pwedeng use ng ating influence. So, like for example, for someone who has like say, let's say 2 million followers, ang laking bagay na noon for 2 million people to hear you say, hey guys, you know what? Let's make a difference. Let's all just stay home so we can flatten the curve and, ma-eliminate natin tong ating itong COVID.
Yeah.
So again, yeah, uh, as someone who has influence, you have to bear in mind that it's power, no, but it's power that has to be used in a right way. It's a responsibility more than a privilege. So there,
Yeah. So with great power comes with great responsibility. All right.
yeah,
Okay, so Jojo,
Spider-Man.
just to wrap this up, if there are people, I'm sure there are a lot of people who's listening right now who are not engaged in brands and are, of course, are influencers of their own right. What is your advice for them? As is this what you call nano influencers? Yeah, or a
Okay,
micro influencer?
those who are starting, yeah,
Yes, as you, as a person, because this is also personal branding. So it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be engaged in a brand to be an influencer, right? So
yeah.
what is your advice for these kinds, for everybody?
For people who are starting out and wanting to be
Yes,
influencers, okay.
that's a good start, right?
Well, number one, I think you have to be, again, you've been hearing this word since we started this video stream. No?
Yes.
Again, you have to be true to yourself. You have to be authentic.
All right.
So that's number one. So parang, una sa lahat, ang hirap panindigan na maging influencer for so many years of someone who's not you, na hindi yun yung branding mo, na hindi yun yung ikaw talaga, hindi yun ikaw yung tunay na ikaw.
Mm.
Because eventually it will show, no?
Mm.
And a lot of people really still appreciate and will relate to you and will follow you because of who you are. So yeah, number one, genuineness and authenticity. Second, again, the mindset that it's a responsibility more than a privilege. So sana magsimula tayo doon sa mindset na yon, so that eventually when you become more influential or you have more followers, hindi siya mawawala, no? Or hindi ka madidiskaril. You will always understand that there's an attached responsibility to it. Number three, again, as I've said, it's not all about the money. But yes, it's something that you can make money out of. Uh, Number four, don't forget where you started and how you started.
Right. Always keep.
Parati naman yan ang advice. Yan
Mm,
naman ang parating advice ng mga nakakatanda. But, always keep your feet on the ground and don't ever forget where and how you started. And don't also forget that your influence, you owe it to your followers. No? You owe it to your followers, and you you have a responsibility again. And also, importante rin yung branding tsaka imaging. And
yes.
you have to stick to that. No? Kailangan alam mo kung ano yung branding mo. Alam mo kung ano yung image mo. And you stick to it.
All right.
I think yun na yun.
Okay.
For
That's
more advice, you can just give me a call or follow me on
the
IG
people who
or
don't.
something. Follow me on IG or something like that. So yeah.
All right. So I'm so happy to have you here, Jo. Thanks again for agreeing to do this with me, because I do sincerely think and feel that it's our responsibility as well to educate people that influencer marketing is not just having good things, but rather it is a responsibility. I mean, we keep on saying responsibility, but there is a social responsibility that needs to resonate and be relevant, or if not even relevant, that you have a responsibility to the people whom you're with, diba? So your passions also dictate or say who you are and your
Yes.
conviction. And something that I learned from you overall in this conversation, that you also have to be who you truly are. So engage only with things that you personally believe in,
Yep.
use, and be mindful of what you say, do, and act. Because otherwise, engaging and having a lot of money is just temporary happiness and are all temporary. But what is, what will be for long term is of the people remembering who you are and what your
Agree.
values are. Yeah, and so
Yep.
okay, I'm so excited. I just wanted to announce also to everybody that there will be more influencer marketing together with Jojo in the coming days. I hope you guys will be able to join us. Just stay tuned. If you're not part of the newsletter yet, you may go ahead and register it through the after6club.com. If you have any questions, suggestions, or topics that you want us to discuss, feel free to also drop us a note. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Cassie Pajarillo, and also the same. You may get in touch with Jojo. Jo, what is your Instagram?
At joamps3.
All right, or Telemarketers Inc., right?
At Talent Marketers Inc.
Right, at Talent Marketers Inc. So there you go. Thank you again, Jo, for being here, and for everyone for listening. I hope you guys learned a lot and take that responsibility as an influencer yourself. Again, my name is Cassie, your host, and this is your the After Six Club Ambitious Tribe podcast and webinar. Remember, drive your ambition, you guys. Bye.
Bye.